Yo, what up? Kamikaze Soundwaves here, back at you with some more Scary Movie Month stuff. Number 3 installment. Today I'll be talking about a movie named Cargo. So Cargo is a zombie flick. It's set in Royal Australia. We're introduced to our two characters, Andy and Kay. Now they're a married couple and they recently just had a baby, but doesn't never say how old the baby is, but I'm talking like under a year. We're talking 5 to 6, maybe 7 months. So they're on a houseboat circling out in Royal Australia, doing whatever they can to survive. They're clearly running low on supplies. It sets the tone real quick when they see other people and how other people stay away from other people. Obviously, so during a zombie apocalypse, you never know who's out for what or who's infected. So they stumble upon a wrecked yacht in the middle of this swamp kind of area. So Andy goes in to go check it out. He finds the supplies, and everything seems to be turning itself around. Kay, on the other hand, goes to go find some more supplies, and she's not so lucky. There was apparently something on that yacht that got her. They try to act like it isn't a bite, but clearly it's a bite. She's starting to show signs that she could be turning. Now, in this whole zombie world, you've got about 48 hours before you turn. So it looks like the government has basically dubbed out tons of packages to people who could be infected. Now, unfortunately, this isn't going to be the cure. Basically, you open up the box and basically it's going to have instructions for what you're going to be experiencing turning into a zombie. And basically you get a pin to stab yourself in the brain to kill yourself if you're experiencing. There's clearly no cure for this thing. So what they're going to do is they're going to try to rush out, find a hospital, because they're still ultimately convinced it wasn't a zombie bite, but it is. So they get off the houseboat, they find a map, they try to go and get to a hospital. They ended up having to run off the road for some if and odd reason, and Kay ends up dying. But during this time, it's been enough time, Kay turns and she ends up biting Andy, which leaves Andy alone all by himself with a 6-month-old daughter who has 48 hours before he's going to turn. The basis of this movie is basically Andy is trying to find someone to take care of his daughter before he turns so he can kill himself or get away from her, but he needs to find her a good home. And that's pretty much the premise of the movie. Now, there is a whole other side to this movie as well. There's a girl named Toomey, and basically she's run away from home because her father has been infected. She knows that her family will kill her father if they find out he's infected. So I guess, she just wants to try to keep him alive as long as possible because she has that attachment. So she's actually feeding him, trapping him. And apparently she's in some kind of tribe where they found out they can cover their skin with chalk so that the zombies don't actually bother them. That's kind of how they're all surviving. So we cut back to Andy and he does eventually find this hospital, but it's a ghost town. He does meet another lady who knows of Toomey and her family, the tribe. He says they're probably the best bet to take care of his daughter before he goes and passes on. So the countdown is ticking. He's doing anything and everything he can to try to find his family. Andy ends up running into a guy named Vic who's trapped. Andy ends up helping him out, so Vic kind of wants to pay him back and help him back as well. But it turns out Vic isn't the greatest of people, has really diabolical plans and does some really terrible things also to Toomey's family that he's captured. Apparently Andy just isn't that person, doesn't see things that way. Andy actually wants to run away from where he's staying with Vic. Vic's wife actually doesn't like him either, so they catch them talking on the side. He blows his fucking mind, thinks that he's trying to steal his wife, imprisons Andy. Andy has to get free. He does with the help of Toomey. Now Toomey and Andy and now Rosie are kind of going off on their own to get Rosie back with Toomey's family. Toomey says she's ready to go home at this point, so the whole point now is getting back to Toomey's family. But now they have Vic chasing them down. Vic is a gun-toting maniac, so not only do they have to avoid infected, they have to also avoid Rick. So it's one of those kind of time-sensitive movies where there's a countdown, which puts a lot of suspense and build on how he's going to get there, things slowing him down that kind of make you go, oh no, he's got to speed up, he's got to get there because he's not going to make it. It's a really good zombie flick. It's not so much just millions of zombies all over the place. These type of zombies, I guess they have some kind of remedy that if you don't want to kill yourself, if you bury your head in the sand and cover it, you won't smell or anything. You'll just kind of be alive as a zombie, but you won't move. So those things are kind of littered all throughout the world, Australia and stuff like that. Then you have normal ones walking around chasing you. And they're more like rabid zombies. They're not more like slow moving. And when they do turn, all this disgusting type mucus just pours out of their eyes and mouth. Really creepy looking. So honestly, at the end of the day, I don't want to talk about too much of the ending because I do think this is one you should check out if you haven't. So this is Cargo. I definitely think it's worth a watch. I definitely think it's one of more top tier zombie movies. I've seen a hell of a lot worse. I have seen better, but I do think this is definitely a good one. Definitely worth a watch. Cargo's only on Netflix, unfortunately. It is one of those Netflix exclusive movies, so I'm sure if you don't have Netflix, you can find a workaround to find it, but this is a Netflix exclusive movie, just FYI. So anyway, this is Kamikaze Soundwaves. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. I appreciate it. And hey, if you have any scary movie suggestions or anything like that, leave them down below for me because I definitely want to check out some movies this month that I haven't seen. So if I see anything interesting, I'll definitely check it out. But anyway, thanks again for stopping by and checking out the video. Much obliged, and I'll see you over the next one. Later.